I downloaded tons of Skyblock mod clients and compared all of them to find out which one really is the best. So if you've played Skyblock for a while, you might have heard about modded clients, like Skyclient, Lunar Client and so on. I'll rate all of these at the end, so make sure to stick around for it. So let's start out strong with Skyclient. It's what I personally use, so of course it's gonna be a little biased when I rate it. No, but really. First off, it's not actually a client, it's more like a mod installer that holds your hand the entire time, which I love because honestly I'm getting pretty old, like the retirement home is next step for me. Jokes aside, Skyclient is very neat because it is very user friendly. It lets you pick and mix the mods and texture packs you want like a kid at a fucking candy store, along with giving an explanation for each mod if you mouse over them. It even has pre-made and recommended mod lists in case you don't have time or the interest to look up what mods you want yourself. The main thing that would make you want to use Skyclient for your mods is that it is by far the most customizable client. Since it's just a mod installer, it lets you add any mods you might miss. It's also open source, which is always a good thing. I also love the absolute sassiness of including this part on the site where they compare Skyclient with other clients.
That is amazing.
So, I just set up this channel on my Discord server. I want you to join and tell me your opinion on which mod client you prefer and why. Alright, thanks. So the second client is Badlion. Badlion is a big client, and by big I mean popular. It's been around for a bit, around 8 years I think. They offer tons of mods, but since this video is about Skyblock, I will only focus on those. And they do offer Skyblock mods created specifically for the client as far as I can tell. Feel free to tell me off in the comment section if I am wrong on this, by the way. They have mods for almost every section of the game though. Auctions, bazaar, fairy souls, combat, dungeons and more. I think it would be really cool if they added support for like putting other mods into the list as well. While they do have a good amount of mods, they might not have every mod a Skyblock player would want. Overall, I think it's pretty average in terms of a mod client, although I wish there were more options for customizability when it comes to the mods. The third client is Lunar Client. It's also a very popular client that gives a very good FPS boost. I think the launcher and the aesthetics of it is absolutely gorgeous. They have an alright list of mods too, mainly catered towards Minecraft in general, same as Badlion. But when it comes to mods that can be used with Skyblock, the main one is Skyblock add-ons. It adds trackers, different alerts, and also solvers, basically tons of quality of life stuff. As far as I can tell though, the version of Skyblock add-ons is 1.6.0, which if it is the same thing as like the Forge one, would mean that it's a version from 2021, which is a bit of a shame, since a lot of things have been added to the game since 2021. Another shortcoming is that Lunar also only allows their own mods, so it doesn't let you customize your own mod list. There is of course no risk of accidentally downloading viruses or other stuff since the mod list is curated. Overall, Lunar Client is decent. It gives a very good FPS boost, so it could be useful for people with more low-end specs on their computer. The aesthetics, as I said, is also great, and it provides the main mod with no risk of getting viruses. The final client for this video is Feather Client. It's a client for Minecraft that actually has many neat features, such as a cross-server chat and also built-in voice chat. Feather Client also has the most important Skyblock mods built in, available for you to download whenever you want, but you can also add your own mods if you feel like you're missing it, which is one of the best features of this client by far, seeing as both Lunar and Badlion are missing out on that. The shortcomings I have found that Feather has is that it doesn't work with every single mod that you import, and some might even break the game completely for you. Feather Client has also had its fair share of drama in the past, for things like stealing code and also stealing mods. As far as I know, they have turned a new leaf and they're not doing that stuff anymore, but it's definitely tainted their rep in the community. Overall, Feather Client is a good client. It boosts FPS decently, it gives you the customizability you get by using Forge mods. It's basically the best of both worlds. I hope they'll be able to regain the communities and the mod makers' trust eventually. Now, it's finally time to decide which mod client really is the best. Which one of these four will succeed and get the Carl stamp of approval? Let's start from the bottom. Fourth place is gonna go to Feather for now, even though it does have the customizability I value. The fact that the client is incompatible with some mods is too big a risk for me. I want something that works seamlessly, or at least as close to seamless as it can be, and that's why I gave it this place. Third place goes to Badlion. While the mods they have are slightly more to my taste than Lunar, the aesthetics fall a bit short for me, and the FPS boost, while being good, is still not at the same level as Lunar's or Forge's. Second place for me personally will be Lunar Client. I like their aesthetic, it's very pleasant to look at, along with having one of the better FPS boosts. They have room for improvement of course, as do all the clients here, but they are still a bit over Badlion and Feather in my opinion. I think that each client is good in their own way of course, but I personally think that Skyclient is the best out of the bunch. And wait, before you go commenting out about how it actually isn't a mod client but it's a mod installer, I just want you to take this. Seriously though, what's not to love about it? It's open source, it's got tons of options for customization, you can pick and mix whichever mods you want, and they were absolute shads on their website. This easily nets them the top spot for me. So, that was the video. Wanna see me compare more clients or something else entirely? Let me know in the comments. I'll see you next video, take care, bye.